Hello, grade 6. How are you, miss? We will start this semester, inshallah, with module 5 from this book, which is talking about algebraic and numerical expressions. And to understand well the meaning of algebraic expression, numerical expression, and to deal with them and form expressions and do operations with them, I need first to re-understand and revise together the meaning of exponents and powers. Now, which is actually the first lesson from this module, but before we go to the exponent and powers, let's remember together the meaning of the word product. When I ask you actually to find the product, okay, it means that I'm asking you to multiply factors by each other, and I want you to focus on the vocabulary I'm using. When I say factors, here I'm talking about the numbers. I multiply them by each other. When I say the result of multiplying the factors by each other, I'm talking about the product. Now, in the first example here, the product is actually will be the result of multiplying 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, multiplying 2 by itself 4 times. In the second one, I'm talking about multiplying fractions by fractions. And if you remember, we can simplify any numerator with any denominator. Okay, so here I can simplify, for example, 2 in the numerator with 6 in the denominator. Common factor between them is 2, and I can, simplify them to have 1 times 5, which is 5 over 3 times 2, which is actually 3 times 3, which is actually 9. And we have more than one problem. Same thing in problem 3 or exercise 3. If you multiply 1/3 by itself 3 times, you get an answer. And the same if you are multiplying decimals. Remember that when we used to multiply decimals, we actually ignore the decimal points, okay, and then do the usually multiplication two numbers, okay, by 2 digits, like multiplying 25 times 15. Then after finish multiplication, I put the decimal point after 2 digits from the right. Why 2 digits? Because there are actually 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. And we used to, deal with life problems, etc. Now, at the end of this lesson, okay, we will actually be able to write together, we will be able to write and evaluate a numerical expression involving whole number exponents. Now, what do we mean by exponents? Actually, let's remember together when we talked about a product, we said it's the result of multiplying factors of each other. What about if these factors are actually the same? If I multiply the same factor by itself number of times, actually this let's say it directs me, or it take me to the meaning of exponent. Now, exponent, which is actually, as you can see here, it's number 4, which is a small number to the right top of the the number I put it here, which is a 3, which I call it the base. Okay, the exponent, which is 4, it means the number of the times that number 3 multiplying by itself. Okay, so when I say 3 to the power 4, I mean that number 3 is multiplying by itself 4 times, as you can see here. Now, together, 3 to the power 4 actually, or 10 to the power 2 is equal to, or it's, I can say about it, it's power. So there is power, there is base, there is exponent, and there are factors, as you can see here in the picture. In this slide, as you can see here, now the number 10 is the base, that the factor I am dealing with. Now, there is no other factors than, 10. So this is why I call it the base. Okay. Now, I multiply 10 by itself because as we said, there are no other factors, I multiply 10 by itself 2 times. So the exponent here is 2. Now, all of the number or all of the expression here together, 10 to the power 2, I call it power. Now, as we can see here, we can write what could be questions. For example, as an example 1 in your book, they say write a product or write 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 using an exponent. Now, if I want to use it an exponent, I know that there will be only one base, which is only one number that you can see it all the time, which is number 7. So I will write it as number 7. And as we said, we can count the number of the times or number of times that number 7 is multiplying by itself. We can say that number 7 is multiplied by itself 5 times. So it's 7 to the power 5. Now, 7 to the power 5, I call it actually power. Now, same thing here. If you want, to multiply or to write this as write the product as an exponent, okay, or write product as powers, okay, I will write here the base, which is 8, and I will count the number of the times that number 8 is multiplying by itself, which is actually 8 times 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 8 to the, raised to an exponent 10. Okay? Now, can we write fractions as products, fractions if they are products as powers? Yes, of course we can. If the number means we can write any number, any, real number, okay, as a product or as a power if it's repeated, same number. If there is no other number, I can see it in the problem. If it's the only number, so I can just write it. Now, as we can see here in example 2, sometimes we can see, the base 2 to the power 5, 2 over 5 is used as a factor 3 times, okay, as a factor 3 times. It means that I can use it as a base, okay. And as you can see here, when I say 3 times, so the number, okay, 3 is, or number 3 will be the exponent, okay. And if you ask yourself why there are parentheses, as you can see here, around 2 to the power 5, think about it, okay. Easily, you can see why there is an exponent, where there's parentheses, or there are parentheses around 2 over 5, because actually I have a fraction. So if I write the fraction without parentheses or with no parentheses, you will be confused. Is it only 2 to the raised to exponent 3, or 5 raised to exponent 3, or both? Since it's a fraction, so I want both of them to be raised to the power 3, so I need to put them inside parentheses. Now, and the same thing, you can write mixed numbers too as an exponent, or as a power using an exponent. Now, what's the exponent here? It will be the number of the times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 times. It's multiplying by itself. It's 7 times. How to find it? You can just count the number of the mixed numbers or fractions or numbers, whatever. Just count their number, and then you put it at the top as an exponent. Tamam. So this is 1 and half raised to power 7.